Warrior Cats is both incredibly consistent and incredibly inconsistent when it comes to giving cats special powers. When it comes to Medicine Cat and leader powers, almost every cat with the position has them. But when it comes to other specific powers, they are just randomly handed out for no reason other than making a very specific plotline. So I decided I want to rank these other powers from worst to best. For this list, Clan Cats only, normal Medicine Cat connections to StarClan, and Leader's 9 lives don't count as way too many cats have those, and only powers held by cats while they were alive. The Spirit Cats are magic by default, so again it's way too many if we include them. So all this in mind, I've decided that 9 powers qualify for this list. Starting from the worst one, number 9, Goosefeather. This power is literally called a curse in the title of his book. Yeah, I think it's the worst one. Basically, he could see ghosts and get visions of the future, but it backfires and completely destroys his mental state, because these visions cannot be turned off. It's like a hyper version of Medicine Cat powers in all the worst ways. And the lesson he learns is that he can't change the future, and that he shouldn't tell any cat about the things he sees. So the power has absolutely no purpose other than torturing him. That's rough. Number 8, Yellowfang. Yellowfang's power is feeling the pain of others as if it was her own. Something that was made up for her Super Edition, so she never uses it in any other book. Like Goosefeather, this power is more of a debuff than anything useful. Like, sure, she can use it to identify cats who need her healing, but you know what else could do that? Her eyes. Or if it's not a visible injury, talking to the darn cat. This is a problem that no other Medicine Cat has ever had. Why is there a power to solve it? The 1 or 2 times this power is actually useful is completely outweighed by the constant pain she is in. If this power was given to her for a reason, it was just to make it unbearable for her to go into battle, and therefore force her to be a Medicine Cat, which only does harm when she can't give proper care to Broken Cat. Number 7, Cinderheart. We're 1/3 through the list, and we're still on powers that are more harmful than useful. Basically, when Cinderheart was growing up, it was revealed to us that she was actually Cinderpelt. So a second life? That's pretty powerful, right? No. Home of the Stars changes the story a bit. Turns out Cinderheart is not Cinderpelt, she is her own cat, and she is sharing her body with Cinderpelt for some reason. So Cinderheart's power is just having an identity crisis. She eventually gains Cinderpelt's full memories and doesn't know who she is anymore. She does eventually overcome this, and the spirit of Cinderpelt is sent to StarClan so she can be her own cat. So ultimately it just begs the question of why Cinderpelt needed to be in her body at all. It's an obstacle for Cinderheart to overcome, which is the opposite of a special power. At least it wasn't as painful as the previous 2 cats. Number 6, Squirrelflight and Leafpool. These 2 are together because they share a power. It's their not so iconic twin telepathy. So useful, they completely forgot about it after the new prophecy. It's only really used while Squirrelpaw's on the quest, so Leafpaw has a way of knowing what's happening. The only super useful situation is Leafpaw chewing on burdock root to send Squirrelpaw the message to use it for Tawnypelt's bite. But like, even then it was super lucky that Squirrelpaw was able to identify burdock root by taste. Their connection just doesn't really have any purpose since they spend most of their lives in ThunderClan together. And when Leafpool runs away with Crowfeather, Squirrelflight doesn't even know until Cinderpelt tells her, and then has no idea where Leafpool is. So the power is useless the moment she needs it most. Great. Number 5, Dovewing. The first of the 3 on this list, Dovewing probably has the worst power, but still pretty good compared to powers we've had so far. She has overwhelmingly heightened senses. She can basically spy on any cat, anywhere in the clans. It has a couple of important uses, like warning ThunderClan about the falling tree, but most of the time, the information she gets is more for the reader than stuff that's absolutely necessary for her to know. Like when she identifies the beaver problem, that's normally a sort of thing that StarClan would just tell literally any Medicine Cat ever. And in terms of providing warning that the Dark Forest is coming, Ivy Pool was able to provide that warning several moons in advance, when Deathwing could only sense them as they were marching in. Most of what she could do is ultimately done better by other cats. She was good at hunting though, for a time period that ThunderClan had plenty of prey. Number 4. Tree and Rootspring. Now these two have a couple useful things going for them. These two have effectively the same powers. They get their powers from being descendants of the sisters, but they are the only clan cats with this power, so they qualify for the list. They have 3 powers: seeing wandering spirits and making them visible to other cats, and sensing the earth. The first 2 of those powers, while only used a couple of times, are very useful when they are used. Tree is able to help a whole group of spirits talk to their loved ones, and ultimately make it to StarClan. That was pretty important. And Rootspring was able to bring physical proof of Bramblestar's ghost to foil the imposter's plot. Very pivotal in the Broken Code. Now the Earth power, well, it's neat, but Rootspring sort of just uses it for one book in the sister quest, and then we forget about it. Number 3. Lion Blaze. In theory, Lion Blaze is completely overpowered. He can't be defeated in battle, so he could just fight entire clans by himself. But in practice, the farthest they stretch his powers is fighting a fox. His powers don't get used to the fullest potential because he's not evil, so we never really know just how powerful he is. Sure, he's a major asset in the Dark Forest battle, but a lot of cats still die because he can't be everywhere all at once. So while this is a significantly powerful thing to have, it doesn't quite crack the top of the list. Number 2. Firestar. Firestar doesn't have a very defined and specific power, but he is very powerful. He is able to get medicine cat visions as a regular warrior, with Spotterleaf acting as his own personal spirit guide, and he is both the fire alone that can save the clan, and the 4th cat that is needed to battle the darkness, which may be more of a destiny than a power, but being guaranteed to save the day twice seems enough like a power to me, and it's certainly a lot more important than being able to fight any cat, or any other power that comes earlier on this list. Number 1. Jayfeather. So what's better than having the power of destiny granted to you by the stars above? Well, how about just the power of the stars above? Jayfeather had all the powers of a StarClan cat and more, without needing to be a spirit. Walking in cat's dreams, sensing cat's emotions, and he also just gets the power of whatever the plot demands he can have, summoning entire flashbacks from the minds of cats like Brooke, being able to cruise around StarClan for much longer periods of time than other medicine cats can, literal time travel that gives him the chance to aid in creating the Tribe of Rushing Water, and as a result, giving him a pivotal role in the existence of the clans. Yeah, he's a little powerful. While Deathwing and Lion Blaze got powers that were simply convenient in a couple of situations, Jayfeather's powers were situations on their own, and he ultimately played the biggest role of the cats, as his negotiations in StarClan were what made StarClan united for the Great Battle. So bringing the entirety of StarClan to the battle kinda outclasses Lion Blaze just being a good soldier, or Firestar being destined to beat Tigerstar. And that is why Jayfeather's powers are the best and most useful out of any cat in the series. Alright, bye everyone!